Bolivia and Mexico strengthened bilateral cooperation ties during an official visit to La Paz by the Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard. In Venezuela, the first court of first instance announced that the trial against 17 individuals implicated in the assassination attempt against President Nicolas Maduro on August 4, 2018, in the major avenue in Caracas has come to an end. And also, South Sudan's unity government announced a 2-year extension of the post-Civil War transitional period due to end in 2023. From the headquarters of TeleSUR English in Havana, Cuba, this is From the South. I'm your anchor, Gladys Quesada, and these are the news. Bolivia and Mexico strengthened bilateral cooperation ties during an official visit to La Paz by the Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard. At a press conference, the Bolivian Foreign Minister, Rogelio Mayra, explained that after the meeting with his Mexican counterpart, progress was made in the signing of several binational agreements. Among the agreements reached, they advanced in the roadmap for the renewal of the Bilateral Cooperation Program 2022-2023 in the energy and the environment sectors. It was also agreed to promote agricultural development, social justice, and the negotiations of the agreement on the conservation and restitution of cultural property. Likewise, the Mexican Foreign Minister informed about an alliance with Bolivia for the industrialization of lithium.
We have provided information so that the state-owned lithium companies can work together, because Bolivia has important experiences. Mexico, by resolution of President López Obrador and our Congress, has just declared lithium as a national resource. Therefore, the Mexican state company, already information, is also going to take advantage of the Bolivian experience, which is extremely important in this matter. With the consent of the President and Rogelio, we have also agreed, we have been confirmed, that the production of an electric vehicle designed in Bolivia will start in Mexico in 2023. It will be produced in Mexico for a Mexican market. That means more than 1,200,000 vehicles per year. Then Bolivia will participate in a combined company with Mexican investment and will have all the support of the government of Mexico. I also congratulate Bolivia for this achievement, for this advance that is to be recognized.
For his part, the Foreign Minister of Bolivia, Rogelio Mayra, reported on the main agreements reached as well as the bilateral issues addressed with Mexico.
We addressed various issues of the bilateral agenda and have decided to give a boost and priority to the substantive agenda of the region. We pondered the progress achieved in the roadmap for the reactivation of bilateral mechanisms between Mexico and Bolivia in 2021, with the development of binational meetings on cooperation in trade and consular matters, etc. The implementation of mechanisms for the verification of information for migratory purposes that allow the suppression of visa requirements for holders of ordinary passports who wish to do tourism or to visit for a temporary stay of 380 days for the benefit of Bolivian and Mexican nationals. The regulation of the bilateral cooperation program for the period 2022-2023, integrated by 8 projects in the sectors of energy, environment, agricultural development, health, justice, and social protection.
Integrado por 8 proyectos en los sectores de energía, medio ambiente, desarrollo agropecuario.
The Foreign Minister of Mexico, Marcelo Ebrard, also held a meeting with the President of Bolivia, Luis Arce, in which they discussed lithium, trade, and bilateral cooperation. During the meeting, the Bolivian President ratified the path of brotherhood and solidarity with President Andrés Manuel López Obrador and the Mexican people. Peruvian President Pedro Castillo went to the National Prosecutor's Office to testify on alleged interferences in the process of military promotions. Castillo testified this Thursday before public prosecutor Patricia Benavides and said he is not part of any criminal network and that he will prove his innocence. According to the complaint filed by the prosecutor's office, Castillo is accused of promoting several officers in an irregular manner. Pedro Castillo said to be willing to testify as many times as necessary to prove that he is innocent in the alleged crimes of influence peddling. Castillo also mentioned that the process of confirmation of his new cabinet continues after the resignation of the Prime Minister. In Venezuela, the first court of first instance announced that the trial against 17 individuals implicated in the assassination attempt against President Nicolas Maduro on August 4, 2018, in the major avenue in Caracas has come to an end. The individuals were sentenced to 30, 24, 20, and 8 years in prison for crimes associated with terrorism and organized crime. The judicial instance ordered the confiscation of the assets seized during the investigation and that the individuals be remanded to the prison. Moreover, the public prosecutor's office is urged to issue an arrest warrant against 9 citizens, including political leader Julio Rodrguez. And Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro ordered the Bolivian National Guard to be alert to any threat against the country's internal and external security. During the ceremony to mark the 85th anniversary of the creation of the military forces, the president urged military personnel to develop their investigative capacity to effectively combat crime and delinquency. Likewise, the president urged to confront all those who try to destabilize the Venezuelan daily life. The commander-in-chief of the Bolivian National Armed Forces urged the officers of this military component to be vigilant.
Señores oficiales,
men and women officers of the Bolivian National Guard, we must be alert, attentive, and on our feet, vigilant of the threats against Venezuela, against internal security, and fight hard against crime, against criminal gangs, against the Tancol, with force, developing a great deal of intelligence, together with the people, the counterintelligence, developing research skills,
desarrollando la capacidad investigativa.
Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodrguez received his Serbian counterpart, Nikolas, in the framework of strengthening ties between the two countries. During the meeting, Rodrguez highlighted the excellent development of bilateral ties and the prospect of continuing to advance diplomatic relations between Havana and Belgrade, which will celebrate their 120th anniversary of November 4th. The Cuban Foreign Minister also highlighted the possibility of visiting Serbia when possible, while Selakovic said that he will be received with the same hospitality. The Serbian Foreign Minister said that Serbia and Cuba have maintained a close friendship, even in very difficult times. We'll take a short break now. Join us again after this. Welcome back to From the South. In the United States, Minnesota police responded Thursday to a shooting at the Mall of America in suburban Minneapolis, sending shoppers running for cover without any fatal victim reported yet. Video posted to social media showed that what appeared to be a man shooting as he walked near the complex Nike store, with at least 3 apparent gunshots. Another video showed shoppers fleeing an amusement park on the first floor of the giant mall, holding their children's hands and clutching their bags. Still another video showed a couple of police officers, including one with a rifle, moving through the mall, and the people hurrying away from the mall's large indoor atrium. Bloomington police said they were still searching for a suspect after securing the scene shortly before 6 p.m. The mall, which opened in 1992, is the largest in the U.S. and is a tourist destination and a community gathering spot. United States President Joe Biden declared monkeypox a public health emergency. The head of the state said the announcement is intended to free up funds and improve the distribution of vaccines and the treatments across the country in the face of risking monkeypox infections. The announcement comes amid intense criticism of the Biden administration for failing to recognize the severity of the outbreak, which led to shortages of vaccine doses and diagnostic tests. Health experts said the United States missed an opportunity to contain and eliminate this new viral disease by delaying the imposition of the health containment measures. And Russia is investigating the alleged involvement of the United States in the emergence of the coronavirus pandemic and the monkeypox. The Russian Ministry of Defense explained that since 2009, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has financed the Project Program for the study of new coronaviruses by capturing mammals carrying the virus. The defense portfolio recalled that in 2019, before the appearance of the first cases of COVID-19, the American Hopkins Institute hosted the event 2001 exercise to practice actions against the possible epidemic of a previously unknown coronavirus. It further recalled that in May 2022, experts from the authoritative medical journal Lancet expressed that the virus was created artificially and most likely using the American advances in biotechnology. And a day of intense Ukrainian shelling was lived this Thursday in the center of Donetsk, resulting in 5 civilians dead. Our special envoy, Alejandro Kirk, with the details.
It happens sometimes in this trade that reality interrupts the story. It was the second wave of direct Ukrainian artillery attacks on Donetsk city center, apparently intended to show that they are not yet defeated. This is the Donbas Palace Hotel, an architectural gem from the 1930s, where most reporters stay, as well as senior officials and diplomats. Eva Bartlett was there, and she was saved by a quirk of fate.
When this damage occurred, I had just, by chance, I had gone to the toilet at the very moment that this occurred. If I'd been here, I don't know, I'd probably be shredded with glass. And then there was another one or two, I can't remember now, it's all kind of hazy, but I would not put it past them to also target this hotel intentionally. It is known that many journalists stay here, and of course by targeting journalists, Ukraine can keep people from documenting its war crimes, which are manifold.
Not only the hotel was attacked, but also the city theater where a state funeral was being held for Artillery Colonel Olga Kachura of the Donetsk People's Militia, killed the day before by a Ukrainian attack. The attacks only seemed to increase the troops' determination to honor their legendary leader, also known as Korsa. A total of 5 people, all civilians, were killed in the attacks, especially in the second wave, which hit Central Avenues and the radiant Boulevard Pushkin, just a block away from the theater and hotel. The city emptied in an instant. Many people have left here, but many others remain. And one wonders what makes young people, after 8 years of aggression, so determined to go on with their lives in a place like this.
I am from Donetsk, and I'm here in Donetsk in difficult conditions because this is my home. I believe in my city. My relatives are here, my acquaintances, my loved ones, my mother and my father, and I believe that working here, helping people, I can help a lot more people that I can help if I go out. So I believe in the city. I think it's going to be fine. I see my future in Donetsk. I believe in it. You can always leave. You can't always stay. Sure, it's scary. There's no denying the fact that our psyche is broken, that every explosion is a new challenge. Everyone experiences it differently. I've learned to deal with that fear. Yes, I believe that our people, our soldiers, our workers can overcome it all. We can do it all.
Alejandro Kirk, TeleSUR, Donetsk.
In Turkey, a fire destroyed the Baliki Greek hospital in the town of Zeytinburnu in the city of Istanbul. Local authorities reported that firefighters in the area managed to bring the fire under control after 2 hours, while 104 patients were evacuated on stretchers and wheelchairs. The president, Recep Erdogan, contacted the authorities of the medical center and expressed his sadness about the fire and asked to convey his wishes for recovery. Firefighters, police, and the health personnel were sent to work to put out the fire and help the patients. Erdogan also instructed the Ministry of Health to carry out the necessary investigations and the recovery works. And we have more news coming up after a final short break, so stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. South Sudan's unit government announced a 2-year extension of the post-Civil War transitional period due to end in 2023. The Government Affairs Minister Martin Elia Lemuro announced to diplomats President Salva Kiir and the first Vice President Riek Machar on Thursday that after lengthy deliberations, the committee agreed to extend the transition period by 24 months. The authorities argued that meeting the electoral schedule in February 2023 has agreed could generate a civil war. The end of the transitional period was scheduled for 2022 after several postponements, but was pushed back to February 2023 due to the lack of progress on many provisions of the peace agreement that ended a bloody 5-year civil war between sworn enemies Riek Machar and Salva Kiir in 2018. The conflict had left nearly 400,000 people dead and millions displaced. The failure of 4 consecutive rainy seasons in parts of Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia is posing the threat of starvation to communities in the Horn of Africa. The climate event has not been witnessed in at least 40 years and has left Somalia, southern and southeastern Ethiopia, and northern and eastern Kenya facing prolonged drought, leading to increased human mobility. According to humanitarian relief agencies, at least 7 million livestock have died across the region, while UNICEF, the United Nations Fund for Children, reported that over 7 million children are actively malnourished due to a lack of access to sufficient food. Exacerbating the problem is that other regions in East Africa, like Burundi, have been experiencing severe flooding that are swallowing up towns and villages along the banks of the Great Lakes region.
The Horn of Africa. And if the rains continue to fail, as we are witnessing, it's projected that over 20 million people will be impacted on by the drought and will require food assistance.
Senegalese opposition coalitions agreed on Wednesday to challenge the results of the legislative elections held the day before, which were won by the alliance supporting President Macky Sall.
We asked the President of the National Commission of the Census of Votes to suspend the publication of the results scheduled for tomorrow at 5 p.m. to allow the opposition intercoalition to review the results poll by poll. We can even do it in public session so that the Senegalese people can see with us the irregularities that are unacceptable. There are reports that have no signatures, neither from the administration nor from the representatives of the coalition, and it is unacceptable that these reports are validated.
The Israeli police arrested the governor of Jerusalem, Adnan Gaith, after being accused of violating an order that prohibited him from entering and from establishing contact with other Palestinian leaders. An Israeli court in Jerusalem on Thursday sentenced the Palestinian governor to indefinite house arrest after he was detained last Monday at his home in the Silwan neighborhood. According to the defense, the court ruled out that the governor will serve the sentence until a trial is held and will be required to post bail of around $7,500. TeleSUR English continues to grow. Its signal now reaches Europe. You can order it from your cable dealer or tune it yourself. These parameters that you see on the screen are in place since July 1st. Quite soon, further changes will be implemented for the signals in the Middle East and Africa. Now, more than ever, the world connects to us and our stories are heard in other farther away nations. This news multi-platform will continue providing truthful content to oppose the hegemonic media's narrative and our faithfulness to our audience. So we have come to the end of this news brief. But remember, you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. And also, if you feel so inclined, please join us on social media for all the latest news. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. For TeleSUR English, I'm your anchor, Gladys Quesada. Thank you for watching.